I don't know where I'm bringing this. Okay, everybody. In the top left side, we have ourselves a blue Terran fighting for the entirety of China. Of course, it is time. Bottom right side already bringing his worker bee across the map. It's a Red Protoss player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Give it up for Hero. This could be an interesting match. Time always one of these Terrans that can just be the utmost best of the Terran race that they have to offer. Or it can be a little bit less so. Comes down to what kind of things we're going to be seeing him, what kind of mood he's in today, I guess we could call it. I don't like saying mood because that kind of, you know, insinuates that it has to do something with what kind of attitude he's having. But yeah. Alright. Little Probicons just floating around the map. We're going to have to wait a second here, but I'm sure these guys are going to make things very interesting very soon. We've got a big map of green in the middle. It's a watchtower there. Some rocks, golden mineral bases as well in the middle of the map here, so I have to be careful of those. Bit similar to the Blackburn map, where you do have very vulnerable kind of areas behind it, right? You could put... there's an ambulance coming. I believe they have finally found me. Oh, no, they're going away again. It wasn't for me. Anyway. Yeah, you do have a little bit of an area behind that golden mineral patch, of course, to start getting some sort of aggression onto the minerals from. But it's on the other side, right? The mineral patches are towards your already existing base, and then your normal base will be in front of it. So it's a little bit harder to push. I suppose you could also set up on this high ground here. Kind of just looking at this map. And there we go. Hero will bring out a Stargate. Doesn't want to be involved on this map for a very long period of time. So if anyone was going to do a cheese on this map, it might be time, as it is quite the big map, and Terran do seemingly want to avoid the late game versus Protoss recently. Might be able to scout this Stargate here. Will he be able to? He's just not checking far enough. That is unfortunate for him. It's going to be an Oracle play, by the way, guys. It's nothing like the Void Rays. You know, it's not at all in. It could have been, but it's not. He's just kind of casually going about his business here with an Oracle proxy. It's going to come in quite early on. That Cyclone not red. Yeah, it's ready. Even though it's trying to be. How many Marines? Only 2 Marines as well. This could be quite the travesty. That Cyclone needs to get his butt out of the factory. Alright. Let's manage to do so. I mean, he only got 1 SCV, didn't he? Yeah, Reaper and 2 Marines also. I do believe you would like to get a little bit more in this situation. Ah, there it is. Okay, follow-up attack. Both of the 2 base from Hero here with the proxy Stargate, adding in a proxy gateway as well. Bringing everything across. Command center. We do have the little ramp areas here, the natural bases also. Keep that in mind, of course. Little harassing squadron of flying units there still available as well. Not yet being utilized, but will be utilized right now. I don't think there's any winter mines or anything here, so again, a couple of SCVs will be going down quite quickly here. Now with the gateway as well, situated on this side of the map, are we going to see some sort of a massive commitment out of Hero? It doesn't appear to be quite the case. He's just grabbing more tools to poke in his opponent's base with. But he is very much so, seemingly to me at least, still prioritizing getting this macro rolling behind this as well. Still making more probes, only on 3 gateways here. Might go for a 3rd Nexus not too far in the future. Right, there's no way this could ever be a full committal from Hero of 2 base when he only has the 3 gate. And he's not making more Stargate units either. There you go, on top of a reactor. That's a quick pick-off. Pretty good one, I'd say. That's a Cyclone. Should be able to get out of there with all his units intact as well. He is really pushing his luck right now. Also coming in with the Oracle. 4 more kills being brought into the slaughter. There's no attack lab for that combat shield going on, so those Marines, they are still quite breakable, fragile in a way. They do have Stim Pack. I'm not sure if that is going to help them out either, since the Starport just lost its reactor. It's going to be a while before a lot of medevacs are here. So every single stim is going to cost a time quite a bit of HP. It's going to make it easier for these Stalkers to start snowballing if they, you know, don't lose a good amount of Stalkers in that stim. Oh, one Stalker a little bit upset. Couldn't quite join the circus band of Rig Taggedy Stalkers coming in. Still there. That would have been something. It lives! Oh, even the Phoenix still alive as well. This is it's starting to get quite a handful for time. It's just kind of trading against this Stalker army, but it's not really going all that well. Does he even have a single medevac out yet? Yes, he does. 1 medevac. There's more SCVs dying. This is a mess. This is a righteous mess. Time just doesn't quite know what to do. This is a map that is... It doesn't seem like you should struggle more than some other maps against Blink Stalkers. There's a pathway into the main base, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's particularly further than other maps would be, right? And it's just that time kind of took that initial damage. Losing the reactor was a big deal. Does have Stim and combat shield down as well. As that set up, the 2 extra barracks about to be completed here should be able to up this production and hopefully finally get rid of all those Stalkers here on this side. A drop forward time could find a lot of potential damage here as well. That's what he's going for, so. Gotta love that from Hero as well. Just using the Phoenix, just lifting up an SCV that's building the refinery. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Right, 4 siege tanks now available right here. The Stalkers. I was wondering whether or not they would try to commit or if they would try to just go back as quickly as possible as soon as they see that drop. Decides to move back with a recall. Deals with it rather quickly and nicely. Only losing 4 probes. Sends out his own War Prism now as well. Filled up to the brim with a couple of Zealots. Could do quite a bit of damage here as well, of course. Time now with the Stalkers finally vacating the area. He finds himself on the pathway towards the other side of the map. Is this going to be enough though? There's no Storm just quite yet, guys. There's still upgrading. There's High Templar, but there's no Storm. There's a good amount of Zealots here. There we go. There's the Zealots now arriving in the main base as well. They are delivering quite a bit of damage. The fake Colossi trying to be constructed. I think Time has picked up on the fact since he's not target firing it down, which is really good for him. Is he still going to have enough though? With these siege tanks, it doesn't look like it will be. Right? Will it be? Hold up the phone. It's always getting a bit tough to call when there's very little units involved. Whether or not those medeffects are going to be able to keep healing, or something else is going to happen. 17 probes have come down. The main base of Time took a bit of a pounding as well, but I would dare say that was a bit less of enormous amounts of damage there. Although he has taken more damage earlier on, of course. So it's still a GG. It's still a GG. Right then in that moment. Alright guys, once again, we have little boys walking across the map for both these players this time around. set up shop. There we go. The scoreboard's in order as well. On the bottom right side, there he is. The Kaisi Gamer Man from China. It is time. Spawning in the middle of the map. There's one probe and a pylon being constructed for the Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man Hero. Little SCV boy walking around strutting his stuff. I thought there was a second SCV coming along as well, but no, that was just for the supply depot. On the other side of the map, gonna try to put down an engineering bay in case he will get harassed early on again, which he is. It's gonna be even earlier this time, to be fair. Like, that is the very first gateway, just splat down straight across the map right now. No gateway back at home just quite yet, but he didn't have a pylon there, so I'm not sure if that is his intention. We'll see. I guess not. He would have put it down already by now. We've seen he's not in a bad state, so... There we go, there's the Cybercore. SCV comes in, we'll be able to see... Oh my, this is trouble, isn't it? It is indeed, Mr. Time. Engineering Bay is in place, though. And there's the pylon trying to get the block off the wall. Won't allow an easy entryway here. Getting the gas as well. Both of these players stealing each other's gas. Oh. As the Zealot will be strutting his stuff right here up on top of these supply depots. That's the Marine already available. That's a bummer, isn't it? It's a bummer. That pylon still has to be taken out, but you know, won't let that Zealot pass by now. I guess there wasn't any other way you can really place this, right, without it still becoming a war, because the barracks was blocking up these spots right here. Otherwise, you could have put it like this, so you have this one block exit entrance. This is pretty nice already. 2 Zealots now showing up. The repair is in time. They shouldn't really do anything. And the Stalker's here now as well. Hold the phone. Brings one of the herd Zealots backwards. This could start turning into trouble here. 2 Reapers being created, but the Reapers aren't that great against the Stalker. Maybe he wasn't anticipating the Stalker to also take place in this. Especially now with the wall starting to collapse. There we go. Second supply depot is going to try to be constructed. One of the Zealots now does get taken out. That bunker, desperate to get that constructed. Needs to have that right here to protect the front door. Zealot coming through. We'll be able to target that down to Stalkers at the forefront. Should be able to make their way past that bunker right now if they do so desire. Instead, focusing the supply depot. Now, this could be quite hurtful for time as well, as that is a little bit of a supply block. Okay, another supply depot does finish up right there. So we managed to prevent that situation from taking place. Third base over here was taken as a natural for Hero, as he cannot expand where he initially wanted to, of course, due to all his units being across the map and a engineering bay being on top of that natural base. Now the front door is still completely open. Is that something we're going to see Hero try to abuse at a later point in time? Could be the case. Reapers find the proxy gateway. Stolen gas is being returned to its rightful owner. And engineering bay is slowly being disassembled as well. It's going to get cancelled eventually, we would assume. Oh, concussive shell has been completed. Oh, the Marauder kind of messing up the micro there. Oh, it's still good to catch it. The Marauder did get taken out. That Reaper nade, though, from time, that was spectacular. Very good stuff. And with another Marauder here, I'm not sure if you want to still commit more forces on this location, but it looks like time wants to, or Hero, they both kind of want to. Time moving back, wants more reinforcements as well. Great use of that little shrubbery here is also, by the way. Oh, it's a fun thing. Making great use of the map features, even though probably neither of these players has that much experience with these map features just quite yet. These mineral patches over here, I'm looking at them now, but I don't think anyone's ever going to take those out, right? What would be the reason to get rid of those? Guess you do open up a big pathway in the middle if you take out both of those areas. Alright, well anyway, here we go. Stalkers once again on the forefront of things. They have blinked, just trying to target down Marauders. Whenever they're low HP, just move backwards again. The bunker a little bit empty here. Also not being repaired, which is a bit troubling overall. No stim pack available either. So time we'll just set up on this high ground area, the ledge, to oversee everything else, and hopefully that's going to be enough. I don't think it will be enough. I think Hero is just going to kind of start snowballing this again, especially without that bunker. Just look at the amount of units that he's taken down. This is what it feels like when I play Terran versus Protoss on the ladder, and this is just... It's just not something you see, you know, the highest tier Terrans usually struggle with. Micro of time is pretty good. I guess that bunker was a big deal, wasn't it? Just letting that get taken out, no repair at all on that bad boy, is indeed a big deal. Doesn't have Steam Pack yet at all either. Still no medevacs about. Not even on the production tab. Is making that reactor on the top of the starport itself, so that's going to be incredibly delayed. Clearly time just trying to play this super defensively with mostly just infantry. Maybe not feeling all that secure, trying to go into the tanks a little bit earlier. What happens to me against those fighters, Protoss, right, that are really good with their blink micro, is that inevitably you're just going to leave one of those tanks not protected enough. They blink on top of it, and that's just so much more value than like blinking on top of a Marauder or something like that and taking that down, right? If you lose that siege tank, you're just much further behind. Alright, here we go. Committal from Heroes. Brought some Zealots in as well. Oh, great force fields on top of the ramp. But that should be it, guys. Hero making this a quick series. Just continuous pressure, making it very, very difficult for the Terran to get anything off the ground. It seems like a very fun style of Protoss to play, though, I have to admit. Like, just endlessly being on the front door of your opponent, poking in, poking out. Just being a frustrating mess overall towards your opponents, and then eventually it just seems like if you microed well enough, you're going to be able to start taking magnificent trades, because you've just traded more and more efficiently. You've taken bases behind this as well, so you're good on the economy. Hero making this look quite fantastic indeed. Now DT show up, and that is just way too much to handle for time at this moment. Oh well. Top left side, blue Terran. Fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. Once again, sending SCVs across the map. Once again, letting the second one stay home. It is time. Time. Bottom right side, we have ourselves with 2 points on the board right now. A Dragon Phoenix Protoss player. He is Hero. Time to be gruesomely annoying once again. We have an SCV on the other... How does this happen? Excuse me? Excuse me, Mr. Probe? Wow. It's like, well, I did proxy you just 2 times in a row, so it's quite likely that you're gonna try to proxy me as well. Meanwhile, I just want to look at this map over here. Look at how open this base is, actually, with the watchtower here as well. There's so many places where it's just entirely open. Very few choke points, but here and there is one, of course. Some rocks in the middle, Selnaga watchtowers on either side over here. A ramp towards your natural base. And you can choose either the low ground expansion that's a little bit closer, or you can have another high ground that's a bit further away, it seems. But there's no ramp leading down here, so it would still be on equal footing if your opponent decides to push up here. But then again, if it decides to push up in between the two bases, right, it's still hard for him, depending on which way he wants to go. Reminds me a bit of the Oxide map, right? A little bit, this type of setup. Well, well, well. You can't beat the proxy out of the Protoss. Once again being proven here by Hero. Although he hasn't really been beaten yet, so maybe, maybe that statement is false. You can't quite lose to the proxies and then expect the proxies to stop, I suppose. I guess that would be more fitting in this situation. Oh my. Oh my. This would be a bad way to lose. Great scout there for a hero. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but it's probably not supposed to happen. And yeah, Hero's just going to do this again and again and again, isn't he? It's just like, oh, alright, I'll bring in more adepts. That's fine with me, buddy. That's pretty good. Right, so I'm now set up. He puts down another supply depot. He's like, alright. Never mind. Doesn't really need it, of course, but he doesn't really want those adepts in his base anymore. In comes the Oracle. More than 2 Marines available, but not that many more. It's only 4 of them. The Cyclone's still late to the party as well. He's being so careful with this Oracle. To be fair, look at how careful he's being. I guess he realizes that the Cyclone should arrive any second at that moment, so he's, you know, just always wanting to leave before that Cyclone does come out. But it seems like a very, very advantageous timing to try and make use of. Just before that Cyclone could even be on the map. Follow up into the blink once again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 3 oracles. Somehow not one-shotting SCVs. That's interesting. Definitely have to mess up the micro quite a bit, right? To have like multiple 1 HP SCVs here when you have 3 oracles with the laser beams. Liberator harassment also coming in. Hero's base is unprotected for the time being. Never mind, Stalkers are coming back home. How does he know? This man is near psychic, isn't he? Maybe because he's just not really seeing a lot of stuff over here in the natural or main base of time. Okay, now he sees a lot, so now he's moving those Stalkers out again. But this is when the Liberator actually arrives in the main base. A couple of them go down. The Oracles! Oh, the Oracles! Just stopped moving them in a moment of terror when he realized that Liberator was shooting at his probes. Nice little setup right there. It's going to force those Stalkers further away from the edge. Might be able to slowly leapfrog himself forwards here. I'll just leave the entire area. That could be a good option as well, of course. Just protect the... Oh, wow! Oh man, this is just brutal. This is just brutal, man. Hero is on fire right now. Look at that big jump onto the tanks as well. He's not stopping anytime soon. There's a lot of his army going down, but he took out Stim. He took out 2 siege tanks. What are you gonna do this time? Are you gonna push across the map? No, I don't think so. At the same time, I feel like you have to. I feel like you have to. But there's no way that's ever going to accomplish anything right now. Dark Templars as well coming in as the next stage. This is just a slaughter. Hero just unquestionably outplaying time here now. The 3rd time in a row. Doing it handsomely. More Starkers arrive. The World Prism already in position, ready to start accumulating those DTs. Problem for time here is, okay, he does have a missile turret now in his main base. He's realized this from the last game, so he's trying to make this a little bit better, but in come those Starkers again. Siege tank in the main base, definitely helping out a ton. Hero can't afford to lose all these Starkers over and over again, of course. There's definitely a limit to the amount of Starkers you can lose. And then, especially if you're planning to warp in 4 DTs as well. I mean, Stimpack is going to complete eventually here. And at that point in time, I do expect time to be... Oh, wow, that's an unfortunate time to lose siege. Going after the siege tanks. Never mind. Can't quite get the Stimpack. That is now completed. Combat shield will complete as well. So no major delays there. So this push can just still continue. Couple of oracles. Oracles once again called out of position. DTs though definitely still hammering away and finding a ton of exquisite damage right now. 11 SCVs go down. Another DT right here. The War Prism does fall. Another siege tank does so as well though. 3rd base for Hero could still be in a lot of trouble. May just want to vacate this area entirely. Bringing in the probes, warping in more Stalkers. He's going to try to commit to this location. I'm not sure if that's the right call, but he finds himself another siege tank. That is woefully unprotected. I'm able to take that down quite quickly. 1 DT here. There's the scan. But I don't think it's going to be enough. 15 probes went down, but there's an Archon now in the base of time. My dear Lord, Hero is an absolute unit of a player right now, isn't he? Jeez Louise, that is ridiculous. Gets those medevacs as well. No escape for you, good sir. GG. In a world of trouble, we find a blue Terran struggling. Can he turn on the beast mode? Can he somehow figure out a different strategy, a different ploy, a different way to make this match finally go into his favor? It is the blue Terran from China. Kaisi Gaming. Time. Bottom left side, there's a red Protoss player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Already 3 points up on the board. Needs one more victory. Going for a double gas right now. It is Hero. A little barracks here. This time around not getting scouted instantaneously, which is nice for time. Might actually be able to be the aggressor for once. It is quite terrifying though, seeing a couple of those things that, you know, could mean the end of a game for another Protoss. Losing an Oracle, not running away with them, losing more Oracles, all that stuff. I guess that was really the biggest mistakes. Maybe overcommitting to a couple of siege tank areas, losing too many Stalkers in a couple of those fights, I have to say. You know, not taking the most advantageous fights here and there, but I mean, he made it work. He still made it work, and he made it look ridiculous. Like, that is very terrifying. That is very, very terrifying. Now, another thing that is quite terrifying here is that we do have a 1 base versus a 1 base. We have the proxy Stargate, and I would consider this potentially the same thing with the Oracle, but then again, there's a shield battery here now, so most likely that is going to make itself into a Void Ray. Bringing a Zealot along as well could already start a bit of the mind games here, a bit of the panic ensuing in the Ghost of Time. Luckily for him, he never went for a very quick command center. He sees the shield battery right now, so that's a really good sign as well. May want to... Ooh, okay, that Marine is going to go down. The 2 Marines over here as well. That is unfortunate that he didn't go for Reapers, I guess. With the shield battery there as well. Rough time, rough time. Cyclone being constructed. Another barracks, and it's GG. Alright, well. Well. That was something. That was something.